So I got a really cool ISTJ guy to share with you today. It's not so much the ISTJ story or all the abuse he's been through or his years in special forces. There's so many different things that I'm not going to talk about. Kind of really what hit me with studying this guy is the emotional preparedness inside of ourselves to accept the level of detail that it takes to not lose in life. Okay, let me kind of set that up. So being in my mid-40s, like running a business, doing a lot of different things, like I'm seeing that 99% of the time, the stuff that stops me is not the bad guys. It's not the Illuminati, it's not the government, it's not some outside force, it's not the competition, it's not my neighbor, it's not some external force. Like, we have all of our weapons and our preparedness of the bear that's going to attack us, some outside monster force, and we put all of our defense emotionally into getting ready for some big giant problem on the outside. You never get there. You never get far enough in the arena because your shoelace got stuck on a thing and then you shot yourself in the foot. Times everywhere. And like, you know it, right now, your brain just went, like, you knew that, and then you're like, I don't want to look at that. Because the level of detail that it would take, the thousands of hours that it would take to go down and solve all the fucking things that are bothering you, your brain's like, fuck that. So let me show you who I'm talking about. This is Tulam. He's a real cool guy. He's one of these like tough guys that I follow, and he's a really, really good guy. He's been through a lot. So like, if you really want to look into like a deep depressive story and conquering that, this is the guy to follow, right? So his type is a standard Myers-Briggs ISTJ, an audio guy. So he's gonna have masculine SI and masculine FI, so that's interesting because you have the double masculine sleep. Look for that, right? Where do your saviors land? That's the big one. And then what are your introverted functions? Because we're all really, truly introverted. All of us, even if you're savior play, you still want things your way, OIDI, so don't let them fool you. And then where do your masculines land? Because that's where you're going to hold on to, that's what you're going to remember, and that's what you're going to fight on. So if your masculines land on SI and FI, that's a double masculine sleep world. So even though he's a little bit more on the extroverted side, he's savior TE, savior DE, so he's going to be looking to others. There's going to be that filter of, I got to check with everybody else. I got to make sure everybody else is happy. The tribe really affects me. There's a lot of extroverted distraction. Even though that's there, he's still going to be like, all right, what's my way, right? And the problem with these types, and I would include myself as well, like a consume last IJ, right? I'm not too far off from this, is that we have our world in the way that it should be. Now, everybody does that. Everybody fucks that off. But the IJs are like, no, I'm going to die on that one. I won't die so much on the people issues, even though he's been through the most amount of abuse I've ever heard of somebody go through. It's like, yeah, I get what people are going through. Fuck them, right? Anyways, the religious way of the world has to be this way, should be. And literally will lock down on a certain type of religion or way the world be or a set of rules. Like, you're right out the gate, you're 21 years old, and you've already decided this is the rules of the world, and now I'm frustrated the world isn't playing by my rules. So you're like, dumbass? All right, let me play you this first clip, right? Now, this is going to kind of hit you in the stomach if you're not ready for it, because, like, what he's going to talk about is he's just doing one of his classes, so he'll work with, like, police and stuff. Same thing that Tony Setmanon does, so he's kind of retired, so he, like, teaches other military guys and police guys how to do shit, right? And so he's just going over the sling. Like, you got your rifle? Okay, wait, pause. Before you go running into the fucking building, let's talk about the sling.
You need to stream down your body, your equipment as much as possible, especially if you're working around vehicles. Every police officer I know rides around patrol cars. You need to be able to off-ramp that vehicle very fast, okay? Your carbine sling needs to be stowed if it's in the vehicle. If you are rolling around in a fucking patrol car or you're rolling around some kind of vehicle and a carbine is one of your weapons, you need to stow away the fucking sling, okay? So usually what I do is I take retainer bands and I put it in my buttstock so I can tow my slings. The reason why I'm telling you this, because I lost teammates that try to bail out of vehicles with their sling and they got caught up in portions of the vehicle. Understand that.
All right, did you catch that? So this guy's 20-something years special forces, been all around the world, been in a lot of combat, stuff like that. He's like, okay, so let's talk about your swing. You can't have this thing flapping around. It's going to get stuck on stuff. You're going to want to tie it up. You're going to want to steal it. So let's take the time. This is costing everybody thousands of dollars to be here. These are all cops off duty coming in to get training. And what are we going to work on? How to wrestle the bad guy. How to be a fucking hero. How to look out for the terrorists. We're going to talk about your fucking sling. Because I've seen more of my friends die with their shit getting stuck on stuff than the fucking enemy blowing them up. That's fucking real life. And that's the real life that I've lived through the last 20 fucking years. 99% of my problems, things I've been stuck on, tragedies, horrible things, it's just because some fucking shoelace, some goddamn detail that was out of, not in control or whatever, and again, filtering through fucking observer rants here, like, that wasn't getting paid attention to. I was jumping over it, and that's what got me. Not the enemy over there. They're just laughing at me because I can't even get to the fucking battlefield because I'm tripping over my own shit. Now, what happens if you really like do an inventory, like if you do a diary of your life, you can see it. Now, what you could, or look at it this way. Watch your friends and family where they fuck up that next event. Oh, sorry, I had a family emergency. I couldn't make it to the thing. Just some drama bullshit. Oh, I couldn't. My car. Oh, the paper, right? So watch your friends and family, how much they can't show up to the things that if they did, that would get them ahead. That would get them ahead. That would get them ahead. And you're watching them just go up, down, up, down, up, down from all the little silly bullshit. And like, look at that, write that down, remember that, and you'll see like, they're not going anywhere because they're just falling back over in a loop. Now your brain won't let you see that about yourself. It'll be like, just that one thing. That won't happen again, right? Until you start keeping a diary, you're like, I'm in the same place I was last fucking year.
If I go center line on a hallway, start approaching, see how I broke the 45-degree angle. He has a shot on me right now, and I do not see him. It's all about the angles games. I'm a right-handed shooter, right? So as I approach, and if I keep my my right leg out, and as I'm clearing, he already sees me. I already broke that 45-degree angle. So what I'm going to do to switch is I'm going to switch my base to my right foot now. As I clear, you're going to start seeing the footwork. I want to move this leg here and pie this way. If I'm here and I take a shot, right, and it's overwhelming firepower, then I can easily collapse back to the wall with this direction here versus falling out into the hall.
What the hell did we just see? He's talking about walking down a goddamn hallway and looking around the fucking corner. Because, by the way, you just fucked that up 15 fucking times from sideways. Oh, you put your foot this way and not that way. So when they shot you, you fell into the fucking hall rather than the other way. Oh, and then you're walking around so they see your shoe sticking out and they shoot you in the fucking... shot you in the foot again. Before you could even shoot yourself in the foot, the bad guy actually shot yourself in the foot. And this is what I'm seeing in real life. Like the amount of detail that it takes to get your life in order, to clean up your room, to sort out relationships, to get a new job, whatever your life's a fucking mess, great. Start right there. Start with the bullshit that you have right here today, not the stuff over there. You haven't even got there yet. The thing is the thing I'm trying to like share with you, the thing like that I've had to process for myself, is not so much the ST. It's not the ST. It's not taking the time to learn how to walk down a hallway or get in your car or do your paperwork or get ready for college or whatever shit you got to do. It's not that hard. It's that our brains are like, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this, fuck. That's the problem, right? The thing that has really helped me the long way, the hard way, is by living the last 20 years, watching my life get absolutely fucked over and going, oh my God, it is literally that kind of stuff, right? Because when I'm 25, I'm watching this guy, I'm like, pfft. Whatever, straps, just give me the fucking big gun, I'll rock this. Just give me the business, give me the relationship, give me the money, give me the car, give me the job, I'll fucking rock this. You're like, oh man, god damn it. 20 years later, you're in your 40s, you're like, okay, that was horrible. Get the details done, build your foundations emotionally and identity-wise, allow yourself to be an ISTJ for half the day and get your fucking little shit done. Now, in contrast to this last clip here, watch him talk about the bigger picture. Watch him talk about how he has to expand his worldview to get out of depression.
At one point in my life, I was addicted to painkillers. Carrying one painkiller in my coin pocket. Waiting for the next feeling that I'm going to have to numb it. Wanted to hide. I won that morning. I won it through positive mind. Listening to positive people. Listening to success stories. Fulfillment, listening to what is important. You're going to have your bad days. It's neuroscience. You see, what you think about today is what you're going to think about tomorrow. What you think about tomorrow, how do you break that vicious cycle? If I became this successful, I have this sponsor, if I get this promotion, if I have this job, if I get this bigger house, this bigger car, see, those are expectations we place on ourselves, and those are not truth. So then you live a lie. And then you have expectations on things you can't change. Right? Like how somebody thinks of you. So what do you have? Is that you have control over everything if you look within and you change your views in the world. So the renewing of one's mind.